Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I want to make a video that's going to be a comprehensive guide on how you can start making money on peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, I want to give first a little bit of a rundown on what this entails and why such a market exists in the first place. Now, a lot of people might stumble into this because they're looking for ways to make money in the crypto world. And this is just one of the many ways in which you can do some kind of interest-based arbitrage, right? So some people might get into using crypto trading bots. They might do crypto trading. They might be into yield farming or some other DGen DeFi practice. But in my experience, the best way to make money is in peer-to-peer trading. And the reason why is because you're offering a real service. Everything that I found is mostly based on some kind of Ponzi scheme or some kind of zero-sum game dynamic. So if you're trading the world of speculation, when you're trading inverse perpetual swaps on some kind of exchange, you're basically competing in a game of musical chairs with everybody else. I think that's a bad game to play. When you're playing in the DeFi world, doing yield farming, you're engaging in some kind of Ponzi scheme for the most part. So I find that peer-to-peer trading is the best because you're offering a real service that people require. Now, what you're doing is that you're selling cryptocurrency, right? If people want to buy cryptocurrency, they need to use they usually need to go onto a centralized spot exchange where they're going to have to give their KYC, personal information, and then on top of that, they're only going to be able to buy cryptocurrency using fiat with a bank transfer, right? Now, what you're doing as a peer-to-peer seller is first you're allowing someone to purchase cryptocurrency directly from you, bypassing centralized exchanges and bypassing the need to provide KYC and other invasive information. You're not going to require anything from your customer. You're going to allow them to purchase crypto from you in a very anonymous format, right? That's what the value you're proposing is. And secondly, you're going to provide a number of different payment methods than which is what allowed on normal centralized exchanges. So a centralized exchange, you've only got a bank transfer. But what if someone wants to buy cryptocurrency via PayPal? What if someone wants to buy cryptocurrency using TransferWise? What if someone wants to buy cryptocurrency in anything, right? It could be, it might not even be a different payment method. It might be it just might be like a currency, right? There are a number of very illiquid Bitcoin to certain currency exchanges, right? So Bitcoin to USD, there's a huge amount of volume. But what if you're in Africa and you've got like, I don't know, some Central African Republic franc or something, right? Like that, right? There's not going to be an exchange that facilitates that kind of transaction because there's no volume. There's a number of currencies in the world in which there's no Bitcoin spot trading pair, even if you were to sign up with a centralized exchange. So you may not know this, but there are a number of currencies in the world that just don't have this pairing. Most people in particular countries actually need to rely on a peer-to-peer seller in order to acquire Bitcoin. This is the case for a number of different countries, particularly ones in which maybe there's some harsh regulation on it, on like cryptocurrency dealings. So what you're doing is you're filling in a niche, right? You're providing cryptocurrency in an area where for people that can't easily acquire it. Maybe it's because their bank, sorry, maybe it's because their payment method is just not readily accepted. Maybe their bank is not readily accepted. Maybe there's just not many people trading in a particular currency. So that's where you come in. You're providing a service. Now, in exchange for that service, you're going to charge above market rate. So how you make money is that, let's just say Bitcoin is at $100. You're selling Bitcoin via a particular method. Like let's just say you're selling Bitcoin and you're accepting Central African franc, right? And in exchange for this service, you're selling it at 4% above the market rate, right? That's how you're making money, right? That's in exchange for your service. That's what you're accepting as payment, right? So you would get for every $100 of Bitcoin you sell, you make $104 in Bitcoin, right? So this is the idea. Now, it's a little more complicated than this. This is the fundamentals, but the idea is then you have to understand a niche very well. So maybe, for instance, you take my idea of selling Bitcoin for Central African francs, but then you realize people in Central Africa Republic, turns out they don't need Bitcoin. So you might not, you might have a hard time selling for that. So you have to experiment with a number of different payment methods, different niches, different currencies to find out where there is a market. And eventually you will hit gold. Eventually, you'll eventually find that there is a market of people that are willing to pay extra in exchange for like being able to use a particular payment method. And you might want to go onto places like local coin swap. Again, referral link in the description down below. And I keep bringing this up because it is the best peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange. There are others as well that I can recommend, but this is just the one with the most variety of payment methods and the most volume. So what you might do to get inspiration is you can just go to click buy crypto, just click worldwide in the beginning, and what's going to come up first are just the ones that are getting the most volume, like which offerings are making the most money. So this guy here, crypto coop, he's selling bank transfer in the United Kingdom for 6% above the market rate. This guy's got 16,000 trades, and if this is the most popular offer on local CoinSwap, he's probably done a lot of this 16,000 trades via this offering, and it's 6% above market rate. This guy is killing it. He's making, this is what you would consider like the equivalent of a eBay power seller or like an Amazon power seller or something like this. And he's just selling Bitcoin via a UK bank transfer. So I guess he's got some bank in the UK, and someone will open a trade with him. He'll escrow the trade with Bitcoin, and then when the escrow is complete, he'll then send his payment details to the person that he's trading with. And once the person buying sends those funds to this crypto coop guy, crypto coop will then release the funds in escrow, right? And the idea is that he makes 6% above market rate. So he will make, if again, for every $100 of Bitcoin he sells, he makes 106 back. Now the idea with like when you're trading like this is that he's got a closed loop going on. What is a closed loop? A closed loop is that he's got Bitcoin and then he sells it, and then when he sells it, it's going to turn back into fiat. He then has to have a way to turn that fiat back into crypto with the most minimal amount of expenses possible, right? Because there are going to be expenses. What he's likely to do is to take his money from the bank, and then send that to a crypto exchange, and then he'll have to go into the spot market and then buy Bitcoin again, using his fiat, and then send it back to the exchange, right? So there's a number of expenses in there, like maybe there's a deposit fee, possibly, not usually. Then there's a spot fee, maybe it's 0.1% if it's on a place like Binance, or it could be more, I don't know. And then there's going to be like a withdrawal fee. So maybe if it's from Binance, it'll cost like another $5. So you want to calculate like how to make the most amount of money from the trade and then spend the least amount of money to get your fiat back into crypto. That's what you call creating a closed loop. So you might be thinking, well, I don't live in the United Kingdom. What can I do? Well, that's what's beautiful. Like anyone can participate in this. You might not have access to like a United States bank account or UK bank account or a European Union bank account, right? You might be in a country that has a more obscure payment method, but what's awesome about that is if you're one of the few people offering an obscure payment method, then there's less competition, which means you could charge more. You could charge 10%. Who knows, maybe you could even charge 15 to 20%, right? And let's just say you are in the other bracket of people who is, you just live in the US or you live in the UK, and you've just got a, you can sell crypto via bank transfer, and you're worried maybe there's too much competition. Well, what you would want to do is you just try and compete with these guys by offering a lower rate. So because you have less feedback, you would have to charge maybe 4% above market rate as opposed to 6%. And as your feedback increases, then you can slowly increase the amount you're charging. But it's okay competing with these people because there's so much volume with so much trading volume in these particular niches that if you were to only get like a small percentage of that overall market share, you'd actually make a big chunk of money as well. So there's a lot of ways you can go about it. You can go for like a very niche market in which there's very few people competing in, or you can go for a market that a lot of people are competing in and just try and compete with the big sellers on price. And there's a number of other things you can do as well. So you can compete in different cryptocurrencies, right? So you might decide to be a seller of Ethereum. The top offers here, again, are bank transfer for United Kingdom, SEPA. Oh, it's all CryptoCoop. CryptoCoop is just killing it. WeChat Pay, Alipay. So you might decide, you might think, okay, look, on Bitcoin, maybe I could only, like the top offering is like 4%, right? But if I sell an ETH, the top offering is like 5%, right? So maybe you decide that it's a bit more profitable to sell an ETH, and you might be one of the few sellers, right? But obviously Bitcoin and ETH are top picks. So maybe you just go for something more obscure like Litecoin. Some people like Litecoin because there's like negligible withdrawal fees. Like the transaction fees are excellent. So you might decide, you know what, I just want to sell Zelle via Litecoin. Look at this guy. This guy's got 1.4 thousand trades, and he's selling Litecoin at 8.5% above market rate for Zelle, and this is a top offering. This guy is clearly making a lot of money doing it. And there's a lot of other obscure things as well. Like, I mean, obviously, stable coins are a big part of this, but the stable coins are different chains, right? You don't know for whatever reason, like maybe someone really insists on buying Tether on BEP20. You don't know if maybe they just want a direct injection into the BSC ecosystem because they desperately want to buy some shit coins directly from fiat, right? So you could provide that service here, and you can compete in that niche. So you've got the different, ERC20, BEP20 ecosystems. Then there's some things down here. Like, I don't think anyone's trading LCS, Celo token. Tron, maybe a little bit of. Actually, you could probably even just sell sell Tron. The reason why is because a lot of people on this website are trading USDT TRC20, but they need to own the Tron token in order to be able to withdraw those funds, which means you're basically helping people acquire the gas fee on the platform. So that's another little niche that you can go into. But I suggest looking first at what country you're in and just seeing like what people are selling. So I'm just going to think, first thing comes to my head, let's just think of Spain. What are the top sellers in Spain doing? It's probably going to be crypto poop again. Oh, no. This guy, Constant. So bank transfer, right? So you might have a bank, like some kind of bank in Spain, and you can only accept payments from other Spanish banks, right? Which is really good for people who want to buy crypto in Spain, right? Because a lot of these bank transfer sellers, they're dealing with everyone around the world, but they most likely have like a bank account in Hong Kong or Dubai, which means it's going to take like 24 hours. And because it's an international transfer, there might be some fees, and it's more prone to going through checks. So that might delay the payment by 3 to 5 days. But if it's a domestic transfer from like a Spanish bank to another Spanish bank, payments will be instant, right? So that's another way that you can compete in that market, right? You've got things like SEPA, like instant SEPA, stuff like that. How Cash, I don't even know what that is. Let's look at Thailand, right? Maybe you're from Thailand and you want to get into the P2P market. What could you do? Again, a lot of them are bank transfers. Bank transfers are the one everyone's got a bank, right? So banks are the most likely thing that you could use. But let's look at something like e-payments, like mobile phone payments. These tend to be quite profitable. PaySend is, I guess, a remittance service or a neobank or something like that. So if you're in Israel, like look at this guy's niche here. This is very smart. PaySend. I don't know what it is, but I assume it's some kind of mobile payment service or something like that. And he's selling in Litecoin, right? So he's competing in a very tight niche. He probably doesn't get trades all the time. Maybe he gets a couple of trades a day, but he's charging 15% above market rate, which is really profitable. And then of course bank transfers. Anyone can sell crypto via bank transfer. So if you were to discount everything, all the advice that I've given in this video, and you just want to sell Bitcoin, you can just sell it via bank transfer, and you can just sell to people in your country. The only people that would feasibly be able to do international bank transfers are people with bank accounts in like Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, maybe the UK as well. Maybe you've got some special deal going on. But yeah, anyone could do domestic bank transfers. It's something that everyone has access to. UPI, I understand, is an Indian bank transfer method. Oh, and gift cards. All right, so let's just look through here. Another one that I just want to show you is gift cards are another very fascinating way of making money in the crypto world. I won't go into it too much. I've made a number of videos about that, so you can check that out on my channel. But as you can see here, you've got so many different kinds of gift cards that exist out there. And what you can do, let's just type in Amazon gift card for now, because that's the one I'm most familiar with. You can sell crypto via Amazon gift cards. So you'll accept payment in Amazon gift cards, and they're less liquid. Like, there's only so many things you can do with an Amazon gift card, which is why they go at such a discount. Like, you can't just go to the grocery store and use an Amazon gift card. You'd have to buy things online. So if you wanted to monetize that, you would have to like, one thing you can do is, like, if you're getting cheap items from Amazon, you could essentially sell those items. Like, maybe if you have an e-commerce store, you can just buy cheap items on Amazon, and then you can essentially just drop ship those items, and you just make a much bigger profit margin because you're getting these items at a discount. Or maybe you can contact other e-commerce retailers and say, hey, look, I can give you, like, maybe they're selling items that they buy from Amazon, and you can just reach out to them and say, hey, look, I'll give you like a 15, maybe even 20% discount on these Amazon items, and you're just responsible for, like, selling them products that they're already purchasing. So pretty much it's like a win-win for them, right? They're just getting an item at a discount. Don't give them 10%, don't give them 15%. That's too much. Give them like 5-10% discount. And yeah, you can just try and buy Amazon gift cards at like 30, maybe 40% discount. And then, yeah, you keep the difference. And it's also just a good way to live. Like, you can buy anything you want with an Amazon gift card, right? So if you, instead of buying food at your local grocery store, just buy cheap Amazon gift cards and buy your groceries on Amazon. You can do that at a discount. Another niche you can go into is cash. There's a lot of people that are really serious about purchasing crypto with cash. So in Australia, you've got this guy, Cami Lopez, cash by mail. So pretty much it's exactly what it sounds. What happens is you've got someone who's a buyer. He'll open a trade with this Cami Lopez fellow. Cami Lopez will then escrow the funds, and then once it's in escrow, he will then send his delivery address. Maybe it's his home address. Maybe it's a PO box. He'll send it to the buyer. The buyer will then put a bunch of cash in an envelope, send it to him. Once Cami Lopez receives those funds, he will then release the funds in escrow, and then that's how it's done, right? So that's a really good way of dealing by cash. Cash by mail is the most common feature, but you've also just got cash in person. So that's less common, but people still do it. That is where the funds get escrowed in the same way I mentioned before, but then you have to physically meet up with this person. Now, this is a little more risky. It really depends on where you live. You want to live in a place that's safe. Otherwise, you could get robbed, and there's definitely stories of this kind of thing happening. But if the lower the percentage, I feel that the lower the percentage of above market rate, the higher the chance that this is a very safe transaction. So this guy Mint here has done 131,000 trades. Many of them seem to be in person, and he's only offering 2% above market rate. So this guy is safe and secure enough that he doesn't feel like he's going to get robbed. And you're probably just going to go to his apartment, go outside his apartment, you do the exchange, and then he will, once he receives the cash, he'll probably release the escrow like right in front of you in person, right? But when you see things that are there's going to be some that are like 20% above market rate. That's because the dude is like a bit skittish, and he feels like he might be putting himself on the line when he's like, okay, in Copenhagen, Denmark, right? This guy's got 3,000 trades, probably a bunch of them in person. This guy wants 55% above market rate. Now, I thought Copenhagen, Denmark is pretty safe. I mean, I assume it is. I assume nothing too bad has happened to him, but maybe he had like one or two bad experiences where like some dude just tried to stalk him or something like that. So he's offering 55%. So if you want to do this kind of thing, you'd want to be in a safe place, and if you're willing to take a bit of risk, yeah, just charge more. I think it's very understandable. The last one as well is, I think, is cash deposit. That's one where someone pretty much just deposits cash right into your bank account, which is a little less of a traditional cash payment, but the other person is, you're giving the other person the ability to pay in cash, and it's anonymous as well because they don't need any bank card or anything like that. You just provide information about your bank, and they can just put it right into the ATM machine without any information about themselves, and that's one way you can do it. So there's so many different strategies that you can use. There's so many different niches you can get involved in, different jurisdictions, countries. There are international payment methods you can use. There are different, like, gift cards, cash. There are even items as well, although that's not really as much of a thing on local coin swap. Like, just outside of local coin swap, for instance, you could go into the niche of selling crypto for gold. I've talked about this in one of my videos before, where there's different forums that exist where people deal directly with each other on online forums, and they will deal directly with each other selling crypto for gold, and you can you can give a markup for that. But yeah, that's going to take time because you're going to want to build a reputation first, and that's a little more complicated. Look at this. What's this? Ticketmaster. Yeah, there's so many things I haven't even seen before. I don't know what all these things are. But anyway, like, you can find something and you can find a niche within crypto, payment methods, locations. There's so many different ways to do it. And most importantly, like, you're providing a real service. You're providing an honest service to people who need it, people who appreciate the service. And there's nothing scammy about it, like most ways to make money in cryptocurrency would be, to be completely honest. I feel very disgusted with the fact that most of the money flow in crypto is just very bad money. It's just Ponzi schemes. It's games of musical chairs. I think it's terrible. So I really recommend that if you're interested in making money in crypto, use the advice I've given in this video. I haven't seen any other YouTuber talking about this kind of stuff. I think it's really good. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel. Check out some of my other videos as well. I give a lot of daily updates on how to do things like debanking, how to use peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchanges, and just other no-nonsense advice about crypto. And make sure to use my referral links in the description down below. I use, Local Coin Swap. That's the one I talked about in this video. There's another one you can check out called HODL HODL. It's a very similar idea to Local Coin Swap, except it's more, the focus is non-custodial. It's like a non-custodial exchange, so none of your money is on the website. And then you've got like BitPapa, which allows for Monero trading, which is another niche you can go into. And then you can also use one called Noons. That's a place where you can do gift card trading. Another one called CoinCola as well. So check them out, and I'll see you next time.